right, David. We're all polished up here. David himself always looks polished.
Yep, yeah.
So we're gonna go over this how David has tuned up the longtails to make them very manageable. A lot of people complain that they have to muscle around the longtails at speed, but David found a pretty good way that keeps everything under control, and he's gonna explain it right now.
So yeah, you know, for longtails, I recommend having your dominant handle be on that side. So typically on the right side would be the most common, just because you have more power to pull up and down, left and right steering. It's different from outboards that have the tiller on the left hand, and that kind of has the same theory of you almost want to be standing on the right side because the engine only spins in one direction. The prop's going to spin, which is going to be counterclockwise. So it's going to transfer torque counterclockwise from here. So it's going to want to tilt the boat, and that's why the prop always wants to drag to, which would be the port side, left side, instead of the starboard side. And that's where the bending the skeg helps it track back straight, because when it's straight, it's going to have the least resistance. It's still going to have a little resistance, but the same prop is going to want to try to drag this way. You know, when it first starts, it first wants to bite and turn. Once it actually gets water or friction with the water and pushes forward, then it'll start moving you forward. So that's where, if it drags too much, this bent part is going to start getting a little bit more extreme and getting more resistance, and it's going to, the same wake or current is going to want to push it back straight. So that's where the bend is always going to be to the left side, looking at the front of the boat. And then the planning tab, this one you could adjust on the with the crescent wrench, you know, bending this up and down. That's going to be set up ideally to the angle your boat's running. You know, if it runs better at this angle than this depth, or if you want it taller, you just bend this with the crescent so it once it's running at you almost want to adjust it for your top speed, you know, full throttle, because then that's going to be your you know, coasting speed, and then that's just going to reduce the weight of the tail that you're going to feel on the handle, so it's going to almost glide at that ride height without you having to pull it up or down. And then, like I said, you could adjust that. The bent skeg works, you know, in this position works because it won't get as much weeds. It tend to rip off if it goes from there. This is about a 100-inch shaft. On the 85-inch shaft and the 6.5 horsepower engines, 212s, you could probably go without the trim tab because the shaft's not as heavy and it's not that much power that, you know, if it does kick out in or out, you know, you won't lose that control as easily. Yeah, so from there it's just, you know, adjustments of the engines, getting that tuned well, kill switch, throttle control. On these ones we got the tachometer installed, you know, and yeah, that's pretty much it, at least for the longtail side, and that's what I would recommend to do.